Welcome to the GoalZero Toolbox Talk series. Today's Toolbox Talk: Risk Assessment. A risk assessment is a field practice to observe hazards, assess their risk, and review the environment where you are working. A hazard is a thing or condition that might expose someone to the risk of injury or occupational disease. Risk defines the chance of that injury or illness occurring. This type of risk assessment allows you to quickly identify threats and make informed decisions about them to keep yourself and your coworkers safe on the job. There are two types of risk assessment processes: formal and informal. Formal risk assessments require forms and are usually a team activity. A worker can conduct an informal risk assessment without documentation, although it is advisable to do so. You can use the risk assessment method below to prompt you to evaluate the hazards in the workplace daily. Assess the risk posed by these hazards. Review the existing hazard controls. Doing this risk assessment encourages you to think about safety. By identifying a hazard and using the hierarchy of control, you will either eliminate the hazard, remove the risk, or control the hazard, reduce the risk. The first step in the risk assessment is to stop and think. Ask yourself these three questions. Do I understand my task? Are there changes to the task or environment? Have I identified any potential hazards? The second step in the risk assessment is to assess risk. Ask yourself these three questions. What could the consequences be? How serious or probable are they? Does this hazard put anyone else at risk? You are asking about the likelihood and the outcome of the risk should an incident occur. Would you rate it as a low, medium, or high-risk activity? The third step in the risk assessment is to control hazards. Ask yourself to consider these three items. Evaluate existing hazard controls. Do I know all safe work procedures for this task? If not, put the safe work procedures in place before proceeding to work. A safe work procedure is step-by-step instructions on how to do the task.